everyone, I'm Juliana and welcome to my YouTube series. On this channel, I'll be posting a number of different videos, all health and fitness related. This is a safe space where you can use the information given to better yourself physically and mentally. On this episode, I have something quite exciting planned. I'm holding an interview with F45’s head trainer, Lisa Bianco.
Hey everyone, I'm Coach Lisa. So excited to be here with Juliana and talk fitness and share everything I have to share today.
Alright, without further ado, let's get straight into the interview. To start us off, why don't you introduce yourself?
My name is Lisa Bianco. I'm the head trainer at F45 Gym West Island, and I also run my own little private business on the side, all fitness related.
Tell us about your fitness journey and how it started.
So I wasn't always into fitness. Actually, in my younger days, I struggled with it a little bit. I had a little bit of weight issues as a kid and as a teenager, but in my early 20s, I decided it was time to get healthy. And sure enough, it was difficult getting started at the gym, but the more and more I got into it, the more I got into the habit, it sort of became my sport and my passion. And here I am looking to share it with other people after it sort of changed my life.
While working out and with your career, did you always have a support system? And do you have any advice for people struggling alone?
So I have to say, I have been fortunate enough to have family and friends that always supported me from my weight loss journey and my career. Yes, there's always been doubters or energy from other people that might not believe in you or comments, and it is what it is, but we all have that through everything we do. So, but yes, I've been fortunate enough to have a very, very supportive family and very supportive friendships. My advice to people that don't have it would be to seek it, to go out and get it. So example, at F45, we have a really strong community. So there's so many places where you can find community or like-minded people like you. And my advice to you would be just go get it and just go for your goals.
So you mentioned you're the head coach at F45 and you also have one-on-one clients. What made you want to start this career and what made you want to pursue it?
So my career in fitness sort of took off, obviously, after I sort of got super passionate about it. And I just really thought like, hey, I could totally do this. I can give back to what has changed my life. I was in university and sort of took a side change, and it was slow at first. So anything you start is going to be slow at first and scary. And I wondered if I was good at it. So um, do I think I'm completely finished and where I want to be? No. Am I proud of how far I've come? Yes. So I think if you love anything enough and you work hard at it, it will take off eventually. And I just really wanted to give back what I know could change someone's life because I've been through it.
During the pandemic, you amongst others lost their jobs due to the gyms closing down. How did you manage to keep clients and did you find yourself struggling physically and mentally?
So during the pandemic, I was fortunate enough to continue working for F45 on Zoom. So that was sort of a great way to stay connected. And the owners did a really, really good job at sort of keeping the community alive. And also my clients, again, super fortunate. We continued on Zoom and I'm still training some of the people I was training before the pandemic. So that's amazing. Did I struggle mentally, physically, emotionally? 100%. Everybody did. I think we all just missed our lives. So that was a huge, huge, for sure, struggle for all of us. Did I stay active? Yes. Reason being because that was the only thing I think that sort of kept me going was staying, just keep moving, right? I always tell people keep moving. It does so much for us. And I had access to the gym by myself. So again, very, very fortunate. My advice to you is always, do your best, keep moving. But yeah, I've been fortunate enough to have that support system.
Since we were talking about the struggles of mental health, do you have any advice for teens who struggle with body image and or getting used to the gym or even getting used to healthy habits?
So That's a tough one. My advice to teens, and I think of myself as a teenager, and I think far too young for us to already be worrying about our body image, but it's not teenagers' fault. We know that it's totally a societal thing. But my advice to them would be it's not the end. You're perfect as you are. It's always about health, it's never about how we look. And if you do want to get healthy because you feel just in terms of sports or athleticism, you've fallen behind and you're not healthy for your age, then I encourage always to find something that you love to do, because you'll keep doing it longer and you'll have fun and you'll enjoy it. You'll get results that way. And in terms of healthy habits, start small. Don't make it into a diet because it's not healthy and sustainable, and to just work your way from there.
You mentioned the word diet. Do you believe there's a difference in the words diet and lifestyle?
Yes, 100% there is a difference. So I think there's some crazy statistic like 90% of adults spend certain like 90% of their lives on a diet or something. And I totally believe it. And it's just not a fun and healthy way to live. A lifestyle, and I think we're all trying to strive for, is finding that balance. So just being able to maintain activity 3 to 5 times a week and eat generally nutritious 90% of the time and still manage to enjoy life. I think that that's everybody's goal, and that is a lifestyle. Diets usually have tons of restrictions, and in the end, I think it just ends up doing the reverse for us from what we've all seen. So I totally encourage just getting on that journey of trying to find balance and living a healthy lifestyle.
Do you think for the general population it's harder to eat right or train hard?
Where I think that everybody has their struggles. I know some people that eat like really, really, really well, but hate exercising. And then I know the opposite. I'd say we all think that we struggle with eating, but most people probably do far better than they think they do. But I guess, yeah, most people will tell you exercising is easy. It's the kitchen I can't get under control, or they can't get their weight under control because of the eating. So I definitely hear more than that. But it goes a little bit both ways. But yeah, I guess a lot of people struggle with their diet more than their exercise lifestyle.
As you mentioned before, some people find train hard quite challenging. Many use the excuse of lack of motivation as to why they don't go to the gym or get their body moving. What do you believe in, motivation or discipline?
So my thoughts on that are definitely, and I think everyone knows I'm going to say, it's always about discipline. The hardest things in life are often require discipline and doing things that you don't want to do to reach the outcome. So totally is. There's days where I'm not always motivated. And those days I try to do things that I know I'm really, really going to like, maybe to try to get me going. Everybody has days they're not motivated, but you get up and you get it done. So I don't want to take away from how hard it is for people, especially if it's hard for you and you're just getting started. But it's always going to be like taking that first step and then being disciplined and being consistent.
How can you relate to society's expectation on how a woman's physique should look?
So I think we can all sort of relate on expectations or having feelings about our own body image. But yes, I think that being a personal trainer, and I guess having or very much knowing everyone's sort of watching me, I do feel an extra amount of pressure, but I don't take it lightly that people are watching. So I try not to promote it being about body image. So that's not what I like to talk about. I like to talk about being strong and being healthy and why we exercise and all the other benefits outside of body image. So um, feeling that pressure, I just try to reverse it and preach what I believe in and live that way as well.
What are your views and opinions on the diet culture that's been bombarding us on social media?
So I don't think it's anything new that we're bombarded, sorry, by diet culture. It's always sort of been a thing, but with social media so in our face all day, every day, yes, I do think it's dangerous. What do I think about it? That it can be a little bit confusing and overwhelming to see things just coming from every angle. My advice with that and what I do is choose what you're looking at. So everyone says, I see this, I see that, I see that. Choose who you follow. If it gives you a bad vibe, a bad energy, if you find it confusing, unfollow. So just keep a really positive vibe on your page and things that you're looking at that stay true to you. And if you have kids or adolescents, or I think that that type of stuff should totally be monitored. But yeah, it's definitely not new that we're bombarded with these images. So just try to monitor it yourself. Stay true to what you believe in.
Speaking of nutrition, can you explain the importance of the three main macronutrients and why we should incorporate them in every meal?
The three main macronutrients, I guess, would be your protein, your fats, and your carbs. So everything serves its purpose. When you're eating proteins, you're looking at recovery. When you're talking about carbs, you're looking at major energy sources. When you're looking at fats, you're looking at what they do for your cholesterol and your blood and just general health. So everything serves its purpose. That's why these sort of diets or cultures that teach us to take one thing out and only eat one aren't good for us. You know, there's different ways to get your proteins, different ways to get your carbs, and everybody's body is different. What works for them is different. But I do believe in a whole balanced lifestyle that involves every macronutrient and learning to find a healthy balance of all three.
Do you think young adults should consult a nutritionist or have experience if they want to track macronutrients?
100%. I think that young adults or anyone who's going to be tracking their nutrients or tracking their calories needs to speak to a professional, a nutritionist, a coach, someone that can lead them in the right direction. And again, these things can get really tricky when people start tracking. The only people I think that should be tracking or counting their calories are people that are one trying to lose a lot of weight, someone unhealthy who's trying to lose weight, or an athlete, someone who's training professionally or maybe bodybuilding, something like that. Other than that, I don't recommend anyone or young adults to get too into tracking and counting all their numbers because it can just get out of hand and it can get a little excessive.
So then, for someone who's trying to lose body fat compared to gain muscle mass, what do you recommend regarding cardiovascular training compared to strength training?
So, someone who's trying to lose body fat versus someone who's trying to gain mass, the two aren't sort of mutually exclusive. They have to work together. So, whether you're trying to lose body fat, lose weight, or gain muscle mass, weight training is always going to be necessary. So, weight training increases your metabolic rate. That just means you're burning more calories daily, you have more muscle, and it's just good for you on so many levels for your bones, for your joints. So, I'm always going to say pro weight training. It makes you sweat, it helps with your daily function. And cardio, yes, it burns calories, so it does help with fat loss, but again, you need to train your heart for so many reasons, right? Just for health reasons. So a little bit of both makes the perfect recipe. That weight training is always going to help burn body fat. It's always going to help with weight loss.
Do you believe we should have a workout plan to see results?
So I guess a workout plan and the results would depend on what your goals are. So if you have really, really specific goals, you know, you want to look a certain way, you want to be able to lift a specific thing, then 100% you need a workout plan. And it's always better to have a personal trainer or someone who knows what they're doing to slowly build you up safely towards that goal. I think it always starts with if you're getting into exercise, you don't always need a workout plan at first to see results. Just getting into it and changing your lifestyle, you'll start to see results right away and you'll feel better just getting there on your own. But eventually, if there's more specific goals and targets that you have, it's always best to work with someone and gain that knowledge. And sometimes that'll even be enough for you to then continue on your own. But get help from a trainer.
Any last words overall about the health and fitness industry to my viewers?
I guess I would say, you know, there's so much out there now. If you're just getting started, if you feel that you're stuck and you're not motivated or you're nervous, there's so many feelings we have when we're just getting into exercise and health. Would be like I said before, find something you love, maybe somewhere you feel safe. Go with someone you trust. If you don't find a community, it always starts with just getting there, and anybody can do it and you can do it too. So the hardest part is starting, and like I said, find something you love, find a community, get going. It's important to move. We all need to do it, and it can be really life changing.
Thank you so much to Lisa for answering all these questions with very detailed and informative answers. Make sure to follow her on Instagram. Her ad will be in the description down below and show her a bunch of support. Also, from our channel, you can subscribe. You can also like it if you did like it. And make sure to comment as well any questions you have. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye!